Welcome, everybody, to Local Leads. My name is Rich. I get to host today's webinar with you. Today is going to be just a little bit longer video, probably about 15 minutes or so, but it's going to be just one video in a short series of video to train you, the new lead generation affiliate, on really what we do on a daily basis, so the activities and processes of telemarketing and lead generation. Before I go too far into detail, I just really want to recap that the way that we generate auto insurance leads is through telemarketing. Okay, now a lot of people think that telemarketing is kind of old school, a little bit outdated. Nobody really likes doing it or getting telemarketed themselves. But even today, it's one of the most consistent ways for companies all over the world to generate new leads and new sales. That's why you see in a lot of states like Utah and Florida and a lot of other states, tons and tons of call centers, and more call centers are moving to being able to outsource or have people that work from their own home office. And that's exactly what we do. So as a lead generation affiliate, you're going to be taking inbound calls as well as making some outbound calls to the general public. So people just like you and I, asking them if they'd like a free comparison quote on their auto insurance. So you're going to ask Sally, hey, Sally, do you want to save money on your auto insurance? And a lot of people will say yes, that they would like to save money and lower that payment every single month. And that's when you're really going to come in and generate that lead, gather the information, and then transfer that over to one of our licensed agents or clients to get them an actual quote. So what we're going to cover in today's video is going to cover a welcome email that you should have gotten, the daily screens where you're going to spend most of your time for the day. We're going to go over your script, agent specifics, and then kind of really just dive into how a couple of the applications work really quickly. And then we're going to wrap up there, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want you to do is you should have got an email of a welcome email, welcome to Local Leads, with just a few things in it. So the first thing is going to be TeamViewer. TeamViewer is a screen share program that we use to jump on your computer if we need to help you technically, whether that's troubleshoot your headset or help you transfer a lead, whatever it is. TeamViewer is a great resource for everybody because we can jump on your computer, help you with a click of a button instead of trying to do it over the phone. So go ahead, go to teamviewer.com. It supports Mac or PC. Just download TeamViewer and just have it on your computer in case you do need help. The second thing is going to be your CRM login and your phone login. And those are two screens that you're going to be on and spend most of the time. Now, as you can see, your CRM login takes you to a screen that looks just like this. You're going to have a username and a password both sitting right here in your email. And then YTEL here, when you click on that, that is going to be what we're going to call your phone, okay? So the reason you have that USB headset is to be able to take phone calls. Everything that we do is through the internet, and that's what basically it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and log into both of these so we have the normal screen up. So that way we can jump back and forth as we go through this. So go ahead and go to both of these logins and then input your own username and login so you can see what we're talking about while we go through this video. So we're going to go ahead and log in. I'm going to log into my campaign. And so one thing that I'm going to pause right here for and talk about for just a second is which campaign to choose. So when you click on the agent and you click on login, you enter your username and password, you're going to need to choose a campaign. And you're always going to choose this auto insurance campaign unless for some reason on the morning conference call we tell you otherwise or send you an email or give you a call personally and tell you 9 times out of 10, 99% of the time you're always going to be in this auto insurance campaign. So we're going to go ahead and click sign in, okay? Now, really quickly, while both of those load, we're going to talk about our conference calls really quickly. Conference calls are every day at about 6:45. A lot of our team jumps on, and we're going to talk about what's going to be different for the day. Maybe a new client came on, maybe an old client fell off, maybe we have a different schedule, maybe we need to do some leads in a different area a little bit quicker. Whatever it is, we're going to cover that. So we're always on there for about 10-15 minutes every morning. The conference call number is right there in the PIN code, so don't hesitate to jump on there. It's a great place to ask questions, get clarification, and then just find out what's going on for the day. Okay. Now, real quick, we're going to go over two more of these emails that you should have gotten. One is going to be your script, and it should look like this: the local leads affiliate, script auto leads. All you need to do is go ahead and click on that, and it's going to go ahead and open it up for you. So you're going to need to open up your script, and you should have gotten another one for client specifics. And what that's going to be when you open it is just going to be the things that we need to know specific to agents. So each of our agents at this point really normally fit into a box. Most of our clients are either an Allstate client, a State Farm client, Nationwide client, and so they usually fit with the same type of leads that we're trying to generate for all of them. And so the differences are going to be here on this screen, and we'll go over that in another video, or even maybe later in this video. So what we're going to do really quickly is I want to talk about where we spend most of our time, okay? And most of our time is going to be spent on the Whitetail screen taking the phone calls, and then also on your CRM screen inputting the data. Okay, now every single day when you log into the CRM, this right here is just a dashboard, and yours is going to look just a little bit different. This is an admin dashboard, but really you're going to have leads and staff. When you first log in, all you're able to do is just look at reports and look at past leads. You're not actually able to create leads. So each day when you log in, you need to go to staff and click on clock in if you're logging in to actually create leads. If you're not going to create leads and you're logging in on a weekend, don't worry about clocking in because you don't need to. But if you're going to create some leads, you need to log in. You go ahead and hit clock in. You enter the last four of your social, which you should know off the top of your head, and then click OK, and it'll say you've been clocked in. Now, if you try to create a lead without clocking in, it's not going to let you. So most of the time where you're going to spend a majority of your time is going to be right here in leads and then auto insurance leads, and then drop it down over here. It says create lead. Now, real quickly, before we show you the create lead screen, the other button that we'll go over in another video also is this view and update leads. So in the event that maybe you speak to a lead, they tell you to call them back, next Tuesday at 4 o'clock, and you want to pull up the rest of their information that you already collected. The view and update leads is exactly what it says, to view or update a lead. Okay, so you'll use that, and we'll go over that more in depth in another video. So going to the create lead screen. This is really where you're going to spend a majority of your time through the day inputting the lead information while you're on the phone. Okay, so that's going to be a super crucial place that you're going to need to spend a lot of time. So what I would encourage you to do while you have this screen open is maybe phone a friend or a family member, maybe talk to your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, your kids. And as you talk to them, ask them these questions. Do a little bit of a role play and just get familiar with this screen. Read through it, go through and fill out your own information quickly and practice going through this, because the quicker you're able to get through this, the more success you're going to have with the leads. Okay, and speed necessarily isn't the first thing that you need to have, obviously, but it does help, so that way it doesn't take what should be a 5-minute conversation, make it a 20-minute conversation. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump over to Whitetail really quickly. Whitetail is where you're going to spend, again, most of your day between these two screens, and most of the day because this is where the phone calls are going to come in. Okay, and when you first log into this screen, what you're going to see is a couple of different smaller screens. The first one right here is going to be where the information is going to pop up for a lead. So when somebody calls in or we're calling out, the little bit of information that we do have is going to pop up there. Most of the time, the only thing that's correct is just going to be the phone number. The name and address are typically wrong. So you don't really pay too much attention to this box, but you are going to copy and paste a bunch of phone numbers from here. The second box is going to be your scripts. Now, for most people, once you know the script, you usually don't keep this box open because it just kind of slowed down on your computer. So most people just click out of it, exit out. The box that you're going to also spend a lot of time in is going to be your chat box. This is going to be where you can see a lot of chat goes on throughout the day about what's going on. So just like those conference calls that we have each day, The chat is where people are going to communicate. If you, as a new person, have questions, it's a great place to get your questions answered. Everybody is more than willing to help you, so just go ahead and put your questions in there, whatever you have, and you'll kind of see through the day what kind of topics most people talk about. So those are really the two windows that you need to be concerned about right up front. Now, when you log in, you are going to be in paused mode. So you can see right here, this is orange, and your button right here is highlighted. So that means you're on pause. Basically, you cannot take any phone calls. There's not going to be any calls in or calls out from your line, and nothing will come into your headset. Now, if you want to start taking phone calls, the number one thing all you got to do is just hit the active button. Click active, everything's going to turn blue and green, and it'll allow a call to come in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit pause so we don't end up taking a call while we're on this webinar, and just so I can show you a couple other things. So one of the things that you're going to use quite often if you call back leads, or let's say somebody tells you to call them back tomorrow, is going to be a manual dial. The manual dial allows you to make a call to a specific phone line. Now, while you're in there in the dialer normally, you don't get to choose really what numbers you pick to call. It just calls and feeds you people. The mobile dial or the manual dial is how you can, if you need to make a specific call to a specific number, how you're going to use it. So you're going to click on manual dial, and then you just type in the phone number that you want to use, or copy and paste it. So you can type in a phone number, 503-422-2391 or 2364, whatever it is, just put it in there, click dial, and off and away you go. So if you need to make an outbound call to a specific number, some people in the morning jump in their dialer early and dial into the conference call this way. Totally up to you. But that's how you make a manual dial. Okay, so those are really the two main windows that you guys are going to be concerned with. Now, one thing I want to mention, and this is one thing that I want you to write down, maybe put a sticky note on your computer to do this. Whenever you log out for the day, you're done, or you're going to be gone for an extended period of time, let's say a half an hour to an hour, you need to exit your dialer. Now, for a lot of people nowadays, all we normally do is click an X button and just close out of the tab. The issue with that is that doesn't actually log you out of our phone system. So it still looks like you're sitting there ready to take phone calls or in a paused state. So every day when you get done with your leads, you need to go to Whitetail in your Whitetail screen, and you need to click on this drop down and click on log out. Okay. Now, if you don't log out, we're going to have to emergency log you out tomorrow. So if you don't log out tonight, you might have problems logging in tomorrow morning. So always make sure you log out of Whitetail, your dialer. And then the next thing you need to do is when you're done with leads in the CRM, you need to clock out. So again, you got to go in and type in the last 4 of your social, clock out, and then it'll say that you're clocked out. It'll give you a confirmation screen. So those are really, guys, the main areas that the main screens you're gonna have open each day. You're always gonna have your CRM open. You're always gonna have your dialer. You always have client specifics, and you always have your script. So those are the 4 main screens that you need to have each day in order to generate leads effectively on an ongoing basis. If you guys have any other questions, like I mentioned and showed you in your email, we have daily conference calls every day at 6:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you have any questions, jump on there. Otherwise, we will see you in the next video.